All right, Miles, time to talk about the Ohio State University. This is a team obviously coming off a college football playoff appearance, a heartbreaking loss on New Year's Eve or into New Year's Day, depending on what time a kick actually missed the uprights for the Buckeyes. But even though CJ Stroud is leaving, the future looks bright for Ohio State as they look to go back to the playoff next year and get vengeance against Michigan, hopefully win the Big Ten for that football program. And I know you have a story specifically of just a sign of some good news and momentum up there in Columbus. But before I hand it over to you, Mize, I want to hear from Buckeyes fans in the comments section below. Outside of Michigan, throwing Michigan out the door right now, what opponent are you looking forward to playing the most next season? Let us know in the comment section below. And while you're down there, make sure you hit subscribe so that way all of our college football content and all of our Ohio State content, we love doing Ohio State videos, get sent right to you. You don't even have to lift a thing. But all right, Miles, enough of that. What do you have out of Columbus?
Yeah, Nick. So this one was very interesting to me, and that is that safety Josh Proctor has decided to take his 6th year. Yes, that's right. 6th year at Ohio State, with COVID, injuries, all that kind of stuff. Everything is kind of crazy as far as eligibility left on players. But Nick, this is very interesting to me because Proctor was a intriguing player. At the beginning of his career, he kind of battled injury for a while. And then last year, he started off the season. He seemed to have been an integral part of the defense, but he had a poor showing in that Notre Dame game, and he was replaced later on by Lathan Ransom. And, he didn't really work his way back into it that much, Nick, but he showed the potential that he was potentially a good starting caliber safety for this Buckeyes defense. And the fact that he's staying, it gives him, that experience, everything. And I think maybe he can work his way back in to contend for that starting spot once again with Ransom, Stokes, or Styles, Williams, whoever the case may be, in that they have a plethora of safeties back there. But I just think him staying is a very, very interesting piece to this defense, Nick. What do you think about this so far?
Yeah, in a college football world where transfers happen all the time, the transfer portal news, and we talk about all the time, so much volatility as players shift from one program to another every offseason. Teams that were bad become good. Teams that were good become bad, just as the way it works in college football now. It's essentially become NFL. It's refreshing to hear stories like this because this is a guy who has a lot of physical tools. He could have left Ohio State early. He could have gone to the NFL and try. I think he's a later draft prospect, but he could have tried his luck there. He definitely has the physical tools to potentially make it in the NFL. But I think this just shows to me that there's a lot of commitment deep in the Ohio State program. Because one of the things people forget is that obviously the guys at the top of the billing, of course, the CJ Strouds in Ohio State's case, they get all the marquee headlines as sort of the face of the program. But it's these depth guys, it's these special teams guys. These are the guys that can make the difference between winning and losing in some of these close games. And look, let's be honest, if you go back against Michigan, right, if they have more depth at the back end, do they tackle better late in the game? That game's a different story. Maybe against Georgia, same thing. They get one more defensive stop, or they make one special teams turnover and they win the football game, right? So I think some of these depth guys, when you're really good at the top and at skill players, which Ohio State obviously is, they're insanely good at quarterback, insanely good at receiver and running back. They've got pass rushers for days. They're just a stacked roster just at the top of the billing. But some of these depth guys, these next level safeties, these special teams guys, these nickel players, things like that, those can be the difference makers. And we have a veteran guy who's going into a 6th year. That's insane to me. 6th year, want to come back. And one of the things people don't understand, Mize, and as you know, I played football in college. Like January, February, March, April, May, June, like January to August is terrible. Your life sucks. It's 5 a.m. workouts. It's study halls. It's spring practice, which is incredibly hard. It's summer workouts, get up at 4 a.m. every day over summer to train and work and run sprints and all that kind of stuff. For a guy wanting to sign up and do all that again just for another chance to win a Big Ten or hopefully a national championship shows to me that there's a lot of pride in this program. And it's a really good sign for me for some of these second level guys that are the difference makers for Ohio State come next season.
Yeah, Nick, if anything, if he doesn't get able to start, he's going to be, like you said, nice rotational piece, nice special teams piece, but he's going to be a good leader in that locker room. He knows the defense. He's been under this coordinator for quite some time now, and he knows Knowles'